Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 629 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined, as always, by Ben Funky Askren, Stephen Kyle Brackey, and you. Thank you so much. You make the show actually a thing, because otherwise we're just talking to each other. Yes. So, man, it's Trials Week. It's still Trials Week. We have a lot to discuss. I don't know where you want to start. I know Ben called me last night.
I want to start somewhere really important, just to lighten the mood, because man, I might flip out again. But there was something that we got to bring up, and I was sitting in the hot tub last night. I saw this. Christian, I laughed. I probably watched it 5 times. It's so funny. You got to watch it, and it's our friend, Mr. Fast Pitch, AJ Ferrari. Check this out. Okay, well, can I intro first?
Yeah, sure.
Why is he running this way? How he runs is so hilarious.
He does move so strange.
Kyle, you got to pause it. Why is he in a wife beater?
Not me.
Do they still call him those? Do the kids call him those?
Probably.
I mean, he's in it so he can tear it off easily, as you'll see in a second.
So, I think you find out why he's wearing that tank top. You should send him the Twitter video. That's more plausible than Instagram.
Oh man! So then he's flexing. He's flexing. He's getting jacked up. He's so fired up. He does the OSU chant. Then he runs back to the dugout. He gives high fives and stuff. It's a first pitch, AJ. You didn't strike out the guy in the bottom of the 9th.
Listen, he said, I'm out here to do a couple things. I'm out here to get the people fired up. I'm going to get them excited. So
That's not what the first pitch is for. It's baseball.
Listen, you don't tell me when George W. Bush threw out the first pitch after 9/11, that didn't get people fired up. That got people jacked. Now, am I comparing him to George W. Bush? Yes, but
now watch this drive.
No, watch this drive. I just think, listen, he's like, you know what? In his mind, he's there to electrify the crowd. He's there. AJ Ferrari is on a mission to entertain and inspire and intimidate Oklahoma Sooners. He flexed on the Sooners hard. He said, I'm ripping off this tank. You already know why I'm wearing this. It's so I can tear it off.
You realize he was just straight up flexing on the OU dugout, right?
Yes.
No.
That's what he does.
After he throws the first pitch, when he runs.
That's who he's flexing on?
Yes.
I thought it was like the fan section.
No.
The college section.
So play it again. So, no, their dugout's right there, and that's who he was flexing on.
Oh, my gosh. That makes it even better.
Yeah.
So he goes over
he's talking crap to him.
This is OU right there.
Oh, my gosh.
Man.
Oh.
The place is going nuts,
I actually
too.
sent this.
I
sent this to some high-up people at the WWE, and they said, yes, their eyes are on Mr. Fast Twitch, because this is like, if I was going to send a clip to WWE about why I should be signed and I was AJ Ferrari, this would be it. This is, who does this at a first pitch? It's tremendous.
But here's the thing. At the same time, it was so predictable. It's like, that shirt's coming off. You know he's going to be flexing, right?
I actually didn't know that. I thought it would be, maybe a flat, maybe a pitch and a flex or something. But now you told me flex at the other dugout. That's even better.
Yes.
You know who won the game too, right?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State walked it off.
It off. AJ hit a game-winning homer.
Was AJ still there flexing on people?
He hit it. He hit the home run.
He pitch hit in the 9th.
He pinch hit with a broken ankle at that point. He broke his ankle.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he is. Man, he just delivers. I feel like Oklahoma State is very much in on it and in support of the. They love it.
The baseball team was like literally when it was announced that he was he was going to be throwing out the first pitch. They were like, "Will he wear a shirt or not?" Like their official count was.
No.
Yes.
Do you think AJ Ferrari goes to school with no shirt on?
No, all the time. On Instagram, he's like shirtless. It's like 57 degrees in Stillwater. He's not wearing a shirt.
In class. In
class. I don't know.
I don't know, but he was walking around the streets with no shirt on. I know that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Because he was taking pictures with people, and he said just a national champ walking around with his shirt off.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's
so
something.
funny.
Yes. He's hilarious. Okay. Hey, a reminder, today's FRL is presented by Scrap Life. Make sure you visit scraplife.com and enter in code FLOW21 at checkout for a free poster with your purchase. Scrap Life, champion level gear made for champion level athletes like Kyle Bradke.
Yeah.
My favorite champion level athlete.
Championship.
Okay.
Book it.
Man, yeah, fast pitch was great. It was fun watching him do that. He's going to be a fun storyline for the next couple of years. Hopefully he doesn't leave college wrestling early like Gable Steveson might, because that's going to make me really, really
You really
sad.
think Gable's going to?
Yeah.
Did you see what he put up the other day?
It's definitely being considered. He put out, why don't you put
He's
that
going to talk
in?
like with his family or something like that about it?
I don't see it anymore.
He said at this point he hasn't got to talk to his... Yeah, where is it?
Did he take it down? This is what Gable does.
He deletes a lot of tweets. He's a tweeter deleter.
Let me check his IG, make sure he didn't post it.
You guys should
there.
have screenshotted so that way you can delete it.
Yeah.
Come on, amateurs.
He's at Steve-O Wrestle. That's close. There we go. No, it's not up anymore. Okay, well, he said...
Oh, my.
He said, essentially, hey, I haven't even got to talk about... I love Minnesota. I haven't got to talk to anyone about my future or my family or with my family, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, I don't know anything right now. I'm sure he's... And that makes sense. It's like, you would think, man, NCAAs to trials, then see what happens after trials. If you make the team, then you have a long time to, like, assess and figure it out. If you don't make the team, you know... You have time to figure it out. So, I don't know what he's going to do. But
if he wins the Olympics, I could absolutely see him being like, I just want NCAAs in the Olympics. Peace. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you do win Olympic gold, and I know this has happened. Well, yeah, Kyle. It almost waters. Not that Kyle.
Oh, now I'm confused.
It kind of waters down. I think it would feel like it would water down the NCAAs. Like, oh, this is just the NCAAs. I already won the Olympics.
Yeah.
There'd be that feeling for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. I hope he comes
can
back.
I flip out on the Hodge Trophy again? Since
I sure as heck can't stop you, buddy.
Okay. So I proceeded to email them yesterday, as you guys know, because I told you I was doing it. I told you I was doing it, and I did it while I was on the program.
Right, perfect.
And he tried to pacify me. It did not work. Yes, the first place votes were tied 26-26. I understand that. But listen, I have a ballot. I fill out 2 of them every year. I told you who I voted for. I voted Spencer Lee, 1 Gable, 2. But it goes all the way to 4th place, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th place. So I simply said, well, who had the most 2nd place votes and 3rd place votes and 4th place votes? And he's like, well, I'll get back to you that mid next week because I'll be traveling this week. And it's like, no. This is 2021. There is the internet. I'm sure you have these files on your computer. This is crap. So, man, it just really is making me feel like something underhanded is going on. When they said virtual tie, they didn't say tie. It said virtual tie. So, listen, if it's not a tie, it's not a tie, okay? And you give out 1 award. And if it was a tie, I'd probably have some type of tiebreaker procedure to give it out. Oh.
Yeah. Tyler, we hear you.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
So anyway, I'll keep going. Tyler's in my ear. Yeah, and so every kid in my practice last night, and not a lot of them watched the show. A couple of them cited what I said on the show, but they said, that's such crap. That's like a participation trophy. We don't like that. We don't do that. And that's what it feels like. One of these guys got gifted an award that they didn't earn. Christian, you cited 2 cases yesterday, and then you brought up a 3rd one, which would be Derringer Zane, where in all 3 of those cases, they had very, very, very high bonus rates, very similar to where Spencer, I think it was 88 and 91% this year. They were really close to that, if not at that rate. There is no precedence for giving out a 2nd award for no reason. This is crap.
Yeah, and there were instances where one guy won clearly more criteria than the other, and he didn't win the award because, in the eyes of the voters, yes, Zane won quite a few more criteria than Derringer. But the voters voted, and in their opinion, Derringer best embodied who should win the Hodge that year. So Ringer won, right? No. I can say, hey, I thought he should have won, or this is how I would have voted. But at the end of the day, a bunch of wrestling experts voted, and they said, no, it should be Ringer. And Ringer's the rightful Hodge Trophy winner based on that. So you can't now say, well, it's so close. No, that's actually the point. The point is it's close. And they said it was hair splitting. That's why you have experts to split the hairs and say, okay, well, I think it should be Gable because of this, or I think it should be Spencer for this. And listen, I kind of alluded to my theory on what happened, and Ben and I both voted for Spencer won, Gable 2. But it kind of seems like Gable won the vote. And then they said, well, we can't not give it to Spencer because Spencer won more of the criteria, which is why I voted for Spencer. So it's a sort of a strange thing. And another weird thing is the fan vote has always counted as 2. It always counted as 2.
When you guys told me this last night, this is sketch.
So it always counted for 2, but this year is the first year that it counted as 5. And it took exactly 5 for Spencer to tie Gable for the first place votes, 26-26. Now, before you put on your tinfoil hats, they announced before
Mine's on.
Yes, but before the ballots went out, they sent a release that said that the fan vote counted for 5 this year. Which is new. So, I don't know why they decided that. That's almost 9% of the total first place votes go to now the fan
that's kind
vote.
of dumb having fans be that important.
That's a lot.
So is it just
Especially
decided on
when
who gets the most first place votes?
Well,
listen. If there's tied in first place, then you go to the second place. If
Well,
tied in second place, you go to third place.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like, so the Heisman Trophy, you get, I think, 3 people on your ballot who you vote for, and you get points for first, second, third, and then they add everybody's points up.
Yeah, I mean, why? Actually, I'll just actually pull back the curtain more. I wrote Spencer 1, Gable 2, and I left 3 and 4 blank because, in my opinion, there was no one close. And they actually sent back to me. They said, we need you to fill out number 3 and number 4. And I said, I refuse. I'm not going to do it. This is my vote. But they tried to get me to fill out 3 and 4. So I know that they make most people do it, and it's important to them. So now why are they not using those votes?
Well, you're no better than Ben. If that's how you do it, you're no better than the people that that voted 2 first places. You know what you got?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you got follow the rules. Yeah, I mean it's like vote, put them in order 1 through 4. Doesn't matter if you.
No, because I didn't think number 3 was not in the ballpark, so they didn't deserve my vote for this.
Okay. Well,
it was number 1 and 2 were so far and away from number 3. There wasn't a clear number 3. And the other thing I want to flip out on about the Hodge Trophy was that I'm trying to make wrestling a real sport here. And you guys want to act like, ha, this is funny, popularity contest, something. If you voted for Austin O'Connor, David Carr, or
Aaron Brooks.
Who was the other one? Aaron Brooks, you should have your vote taken away. You should never get to vote again because you're very clearly not taking this thing seriously because there is no argument, none, that you could make that would deliver those guys the award. There's no argument whatsoever. Yeah. And so either we're going to take voting for this award seriously or we're not. Either we're going to make this award the most prestigious award we have or we're not. Okay? Let's get our crap together, people.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to stop them from giving out 2 from now on, too? It's like, oh, it's close. We better give out 2 because we gave out 2 in 2021.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a ridiculous precedent to set.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the bigger point is just like, man, this is just not stuff that happens in real sports and big sports. And So, I don't know. I didn't like it.
I mean, to your point, Kyle, yesterday, the Heisman's been around for, 100 years, significantly more, and there's never been 2 Heismans.
It's just like, it's supposed to be really hard to win. There are so many great college football players that went on to be Hall of Famers that didn't win the Heisman. And that's okay. Like this year, or the past year, Dabo Swinney, Clemson's head coach, was like openly politicking for Trevor Lawrence to win. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number 1 draft pick. He's like, since he was in high school, like, this is the greatest QB prospect we've seen since Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
And he and Clemson's coach was like, the Heisman Trophy really doesn't want to associate itself with Trevor Lawrence. Well, that's not what it's about. It's about who was the best player in football that year.
Yes.
And a wide receiver won it over him. And that's like mind-blowing to say, but he was a better player that year. And Trevor Lawrence is going to be great in the NFL. It's all right that he didn't win the Heisman.
Yeah. And this is the stuff that doesn't happen in other sports. And, there's some areas of this sport that are professionalized and done the right way. I just didn't think it's the right way. And I think if they had, what didn't win any favors is they should have released all the ballots and the votes and said, hey, look how close it was. We've made a decision that despite these votes, we're giving it to both. But the fact that they said Hodge, virtually a tie, no numbers for the first time in the history of the award, did they not release the ballots in the final breakdown? You just kind of you turned the scrutiny on yourself even further. You should have just said, here's exactly how it went. Here's how the votes were. And we made an executive decision because it's our award we want to give to. But they did it. That's not how I would have gone about it.
Yeah, and then, to say I can't get you the second and third place votes till next week. Guys, we got the internet in 2021. It's on your freaking computer. It's on your phone. It's not hard to find. I have significantly less important things on my phone that I'm sure I could share with you in less than a week if I had to. And the fact that they didn't put it out there and it's going to take them a week to figure out how to put it out there for the second third place votes, that makes it feel uber sketchy. And the fact that maybe they'll just cook them and they'll just put it the way they want to put it. Someone I might even listen. I'm pretty busy the next couple weeks, but after that, I might drive to Win Magazine and say, I want to see the damn votes. I am doing a private investigation for wrestling. guys, I'm serious. I might cruise on down there and do the math myself.
Yeah. Well, I get
just citizens arrest them.
Yes,
I will. Damn straight.
Well, you are. I think, this is an important award to you, right? Something you won, and it's. I think it's a little extra personal for you because it's something you revered as a college athlete.
Absolutely. And maybe that is why I'm so upset about it because I looked up to this award so much. It was something I worked so hard to earn, and now the fact that they're just cooking the books or changing the rules, dirty politics, as Tom Brands would say. I don't like it at all.
Yep. So, okay. I'm rewatching Bad Blood, and it's getting me all kinds of hype for Dake Burroughs. And I think I've just when something happens, and you just kind of block something out of your brain so you don't think about it all the time. I think that's what I did with Dake Burroughs for a year and change because I'm it's not going to happen. It's I don't even want to anticipate it because it's so exciting to me. And I'm rewatching it, and I'm thinking about this thing. And the fact that they're going to wrestle, Dake is going to make it to him. I just can't imagine now that Imar's out. Not that would have really changed my mind, but it's just a formality, in my opinion, that Dake's going to make it to Jordan. So I'm thinking about their previous meetings, right, and the scenarios when they've hit in the finals. One, it's interesting that they've never hit in the Olympic trials, right? And in 16, Dake was at 86, and in 12, Dake didn't make it to him. So, and I'm thinking about the other time they've hit and how this is going to be a little bit different because, let's say, in 2017, which is the last time that they hit, it was Dake had to run through a challenge tournament and then wrestle him that night, right?
Yes.
So now, and who he had to wrestle at that time was someone tough, then Alex Daringer and Imar, or maybe that order, maybe a reverse order, but something now it's going to be Chance Marsteller, Jason Nolf, and then you go to bed and you make weight, and then you have all the way till the evening to get right. So it's going to be the closest to fresh he's ever wrestled him. Yes, Jordan does get the advantage of sitting out, but I feel like it is the most level it's been in a trial. It unquestionably the most level it's been in a trials format, and I think, if you're looking for reasons to pick Dake, there's a lot of them. And
that was hey Christian, that was one thing I noticed. I brought it up before the show, but the schedule, man, these guys don't have to wrestle till 6 p.m. on Saturday or something like that. So they're weighing in the morning. So, all these pro events I don't want to say we've been strict, but, people want to do the 2-hour weigh-in for a trial run, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And now there is no trial run, right? They're going to weigh in at, 10 a.m. or something, and then I wrestle at 6 p.m. That's a long recovery window.
Yeah, plenty of time. You got to figure that. The cut is not easy for either of these guys. Jordan or Kyle both. I think, what was the tournament Kyle went to? It was kind of his first time back down, and he looked kind of not great in the beginning, and as the day went on, he looked awesome. And it was like, okay, it was like he was getting his juice back from
might have been Pelican in 2020.
Yes. Yeah. So that's going to be a factor, but I think both guys are going to be fully recovered. So if you think Dake's going to do it, the fact that he's going to be basically pretty fresh, is got to be, a tick in his column in your mind, because it's never been like that before. It's never been that way. Now, Dake's got to get through two guys that probably really believe they're going to win. But unless something happens, and one thing with Dake is, on his path, he's like been injured before, right? He hurt his ankle against Aymar in 2017, and in 2015, I forget what he was dealing with in that one, but he got his ankle hurt.
Foot, maybe?
Yeah, he got his ankle hurt.
Or the foot in there somewhere.
In the finals. Well, the foot was the Liz Frank took him out an entire year. That's like why he was gone all of 2014. So, it's going to be, it'll be, the closest to fresh they're both going to be outside of the 2017 Open when they hit each other.
He just, by the way, World Team Trials 2017, it was just Aymar and Daringer.
Okay.
9-2 over Aymar, 2-1 over Daringer.
Right. Okay. So that was, so that's going to be that. I mean, I've been thinking a bunch about this match and that's going to happen. And what is kind of like the next, one of them is not going to make the team. So what do you think is next for the guy that doesn't make the team? If it's Jordan, if it's Dake?
Oh man, it's very easy to say one of them could go 79 and go wrestle in the World Championships that are happening in only a couple months, right? It's not all that far off. And honestly, I think that's probably. I think if it's Kyle, that's what he does. And if it's Jordan, he probably takes the fall off and then kind of decides what he's going to do. I feel like he's going to continue wrestling, but I'm not all that certain. That's just the feeling I get, maybe till 2024.
He's basically said that that's his plan. And
yeah.
And, with the trials getting pushed back a year, that gets him 1 year closer to the next quad and the end of the next quad. And if he makes this team, you got to figure, all right, well, just keep it going. He's moving to the Penn RTC after this Olympic run. So
yes.
That's I kind of think if he does do that, then if he makes the team, then who knows what happens. But if he doesn't make the team, I feel like I agree with you. He's going to move, do the transition, not try to make the team in at the end of this year.
The fall team. Yeah.
And then come back. So that's kind of my thought.
Yeah, that sounds right. Hey, let me ask you, because I'm assuming, I don't even know if you guys know the answer, but I was curious about this last night when I was looking at the schedule. Also, noticed that the championship series weren't until later. So the championship series, it says on NBC SN there's mat 2, and then on the other mats there's 1, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
I got to assume that's a misprint, that there's no way they're using all 4 mats for the championship series finals. Correct? They're going to use 2 and maybe at most 3, but definitely not 4.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
I think I saw Sarah Hildebrand tweet about this yesterday. Hold on. Sorry. Just the first round is on 3 mats, and then the second and third matches of the series, it drops to 2.
So the first round is on 3 mats, and then it goes to 2.
Are challenge tournament
of the first round of the championship series finals?
The championship series finals, yes.
Oh.
Just the best 2 out of 3 to actually make the team.
But challenge tournament, sorry, I was looking at challenge tournament, and challenge tournament says it's going to be on 4 mats. That the challenge tournament finals will be on 4 mats.
That might be.
I guess.
Possibility.
Yeah.
Really but a lot of the challenge tournament finals don't actually happen. Right? Because if you make the challenge tournament finals and no one's sitting out, that is the championship series.
That's the finals.
as the finals.
I think, that's mainly in men's freestyle. I think in Greco and women, there's someone sitting out at every weight.
Yeah, that's true.
There is?
I'm pretty sure.
Definitely all the women's weights.
Because they're all qualified. And that's how they did that, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, and so men's, how many we've sitting out? Just 2, right?
97, 74.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then other guys that won moved to the, Jaden and Kyle had to move to Olympic weight, so they're sitting to the semis.
Yes, so Greco 60, 67, 87, 97 have people sitting out.
And all the women's weight have people sitting out. Adeline, Tamira, Kayla Miracle, Helen, Jakara, and Sarah Hildebrandt.
Okay, so any other thoughts on Dake Burroughs? We're not going to make our predictions till tomorrow. It's kind of a similar question, Cox-Snyder. Where do those guys go? Only one of them's making the team. Is there go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like it's different because they're so much younger, though. I mean, they're both 20. Well, Jaden's 25, I think, and is Kyle even 25? I don't.
They're like the same age. They're the same class, and
Jaden just turned 26.
Maybe Jaden's 1 year older.
It was March 3, so it was this month. Kyle is 25, and he turns 26 in November. So same birth year, yeah. Man, I feel like both of them are. I don't want to say lifers, but I mean, it would shock me if they're not both are still around in 2024. That they're only at that point they're only 8 years old.
Didn't Jaden tell us on the watch party he wants to make this his weight?
He does, but my thought is, okay, Jaden, if he doesn't make the team, then what? Do you go back down to 92 to make the world team at, in December? You'd have to.
So what would it to you guys? Let me just run a hypothetical, and I want you to tell me what you think. Hypothetical scenario: Jaden's won 2 world titles and 2 other medals. He doesn't make the team this year, but he goes back down to 92 and he wins the 21, 22, 23 world titles. Doesn't make the team in 24, wins the 25, 26, 27 world titles. He has 8 world titles, but 0 Olympic berths. How is his legacy remembered?
Well, he made an Olympic team in 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry. No Olympic gold.
No Olympic gold. That it would impact his legacy because, one, it's just the thing about making the Olympics that just has extra prestige and winning that. I feel like you cannot be in the GOAT conversation without Olympic gold, right? 2, if he's winning all these weights and there's a guy he can't beat, maybe not, then I think that changes the conversation. Now, my opinion is that Jaden's going to win and make the Olympics, and maybe he won't win the Olympics. I don't know. Sedge Live will be a different situation altogether. But, I think it would change his legacy.
But I think about James Green, where say James Green was as effective as Jaden has been at 70, but he can't make 65, and he's not winning at 74. He's not beating Dake or Burroughs, obviously. Does that change your opinion of him? Or I mean, it's the same argument we brought up yesterday that weight classes matter and some of these guys are stuck. I actually think Jaden is big enough for 97. I was just bringing up a hypothetical.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I think he's a 97. I feel like James Green is neither a 74 nor a 65, truly. I think he's best. But he's also, be fair, James isn't Jaden James isn't what Jaden is at 92. So it's a little bit of a different argument.
No one could take down Jaden Cox at 92.
Negative. Not even Bo Nickel. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we? Where do you want to go? Do you want to take a look at Greco and women's, and then move on?
Yeah, let's take a look at the women's.
Okay. So women's freestyle.
I would like to talk about the portal too, and then.
Quick portal talk.
Oh, portal power.
Yeah, heroes and a half.
I like that you started calling it that.
Portal power. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'm trying to think of where we left off last week. I don't think
Elijah Cleary.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about Gage Curry.
Oh my gosh,
Gage Curry, another four-time NCAA qualifier in the portal.
Really?
Yeah, he hasn't had. I mean, obviously the most success at NCAAs, but he's pretty consistently a top 20 guy. Man, Americans not in a great place right now.
Ouch. But America is.
And the other big one, who, I mean, he was a blue chip recruit when he got to Ohio State, and I guess looking at it when he went in the portal, I didn't realize how good some of his results have been, is Chase Singletary.
Mm-hmm.
So, with some of these, I put like a little write-up on notable guys that go in there. And when I was looking at him, he's 45-12 in college. And at heavyweight, he has beaten Mason Parris, Matt Stencil, Conan Jennings, Demetrius Thomas, and John Borst. He was 2-2 at NCAAs, I believe, as a redshirt freshman. And then came into that next season, ranked really highly, and then got hurt. And I think that was the year that actually NCAAs got canceled anyways. But I think would have been an All-American that year had the season happened and he not gotten hurt. And then this year, Orndorff transfers in, and after kind of a rocky year, Russell's great at NCAA in places. So now you have single, and then he dropped down to 97 anyways, though, because of Orndorff and Gary Traub, the guy saying Gary. And he was 4-1 on the year, but they went with Hoffman. He got the nod for the postseason. He's back again. So he goes ahead and enters the portal, and I think he's best suited at heavyweight.
Yes.
Where he's had his best results at. So now 2 Ohio State heavyweights that are legit D1, probably top 25 starters in the portal. Real Woods officially went back in. I mean, no surprise there. As big of a mistake it is, it doesn't seem like Stanford is going to make a change. Also, I highly recommend everyone watch the Varsity Blues Operation on Netflix. It's about the Mission Operation Varsity Blues. It's about the college
and
admissions
Chill
scandal.
on Chill's YouTube channel, he's got a little thing about he thinks there's something fishy going on there at Stanford, which there likely is.
Oh, absolutely, and you'll see that in that doc. Stanford's heavily involved in it. So the sweepstakes for Real Woods is back on.
Oh, man.
I didn't do a little write-up on Elijah Cleary because he just never qualified for NCAAs, but Elijah Cleary, who's been in our top 25 rankings, is in the portal as well. So Ohio State taking a little bit of a hit, at least on their starting lineup in depth. And then the other one that kind of stands out.
Who does Ohio State have behind Elijah Cleary, or that will likely replace him?
I wonder if Sammy will go up and they make room for.
Sammy could go up for sure. Bryce Hepner and Quinn Kenner were behind him.
Kenner wasn't even in the roster.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I never heard.
What about Gallagher? Could he make that weight class or no?
He feels awfully big for that to me.
Yeah,
but
he likes way too many weights.
Screwed because Karchlaw, Ethan Smith, and Romero.
Those guys aren't long for 65. I don't think. Maybe he does go 57. He can do it.
Yeah. Well, if it's not, if those guys aren't, if none of those guys can stay at 65, then they got a log jam right above that.
He did wrestle 160 this year. I thought he was up a weight.
He's not tall, but he's super jacked.
So yeah, maybe you get him nice and lean. That'd be a great option there. And then probably the other notable one was Joey Prada at Virginia Tech, and also looking at his wins, I was impressed there too. He was 5-0 this year, wrestling in extra matches, and had 2 wins over NCAA qualifiers Zurich Storm and Fabian Gutierrez. But he's also beaten Michael D'Agostino, Malik Heinzman, Alex Mackel, and Pat McKee. So there's a good 125-pounder in the portal right now.
Yeah, go get him.
Hey,
shout out Joey Prada. Hey, St. Christopher's. That's a good job. It's so we haven't talked about this much. But
what are we talking with St. Christopher's? What are we talking about?
So, St. Christopher's, school in Virginia, private school in Richmond. Ross Gatomer was the coach there. He just got the job at Blair Academy. Okay, so now there's a...
Wait, Ross Gatomer was from UVA?
From UVA, okay. Went to Blair, was the head coach at St. Chris. They were like top 5 at preps. Really good program. Jackson Turley went there, Joey Prada. Anyways, he got the job at Blair now, which was kind of like an super under the radar thing because I didn't even know Antonelli was not going to be the coach anymore.
Yeah, where'd he go? He's
still at Blair, but he's like on faculty in some way, but not the wrestling coach. Admissions, maybe.
Okay.
So that opens up St. Chris, which is they're dedicated to a national schedule. They're committed to wrestling there, so it's a legit job. If you're a college coach, or it's worth a look. So I figured I'd.
Is it so on those East Coast schools? Do they pay those guys to? Like, is it a salary just to coach wrestling? Because that doesn't happen in the Midwest. There ain't wrestling coaches in Wisconsin high school wrestling coaches making money to coach wrestling.
No, it's a legit full-time job. There's other school requirements outside of wrestling, but it's a full-time, full-on thing.
Wow,
these private schools are really well funded and whatnot as
well.
It's
Hey, Kulzicki in the chat. Yeah. I remember Mike Kulzicki from my I think he had a tooth popped out all the way back then from my recruiting trip at University of Michigan. But I believe he's Patty's coach. I remember thinking that dude was scary. He said Patty's going 57.
Boom.
Yeah, he runs the Wrestling Factory now. Bunch of studs coming up through there. Yep. So yeah, that's good info.
But yeah, dude, I feel like they're going to be wrestling. They're not going to be holding anyone after the season Ohio State had and all that. They're going to wrestle their guys. They're not going to.
Yes.
And I think Patty's ready.
Patty does look like he's like 27 also. So that helps.
Exactly. Okay. Next up.
Women's freestyle.
Yes.
I got some questions.
All right, hit me. I probably won't know the answer.
I mean, so obviously the qualification procedure must have been easier than men's freestyle because these brackets in women's freestyle are gigantic. I mean, almost full 16-person brackets.
Yeah, I think it's sort of the individual coach's philosophy on how they think that some like Coach Steiner wants a bigger field, and so does I think Coach Lemon feels similarly. Whereas USA for Coach Zadek, he kind of has a different preference. So yes, your observation, and I think it's for giving some of these ladies more experience is a good thing, and to keep them, give them opportunity to wrestle at trials is a big deal. So I think he prefers a bigger bracket, which I can understand and makes sense. So is that your question?
I have another one.
Okay.
So when I look at all of there's a woman sitting on every single weight class, and obviously that means I believe they're all world medalists. I think maybe multiple times. And then I look at the number 1 and 2 seeds in each bracket. Which number 1 seed or person sitting out do you think is the most likely to lose?
So okay, let's look at it one at a time. I don't think Hildebrandt. I think she is significantly ahead of the field.
Yeah.
I don't think Chikara is particularly vulnerable either. Helen, I mean, she had a close-ish match with Allie.
Yeah, it was.
But so of those that we've said so far, I guess I would say Helen. Then you look at Kayla is sitting out, Macy Kilty, Mallory Velty. I feel like her probability to win is similar to Helen's, whereas Helen is probably not, or Helen is better. She's one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. She's a little better, but I feel like Allie's closer, whereas Kayla's maybe not quite as good. But that field with Velty, we've seen her wrestle her well. If Velty can come out of that, maybe Macy Kilty is young, super talented, and then there's always Maya Nelson as well. So I feel like Kayla and Helen are similar favorites. Tamira, I think, is a pretty big favorite.
Just to go back to the Helen Allie thing, it was 2-2 on criteria. Helen won.
My gracious.
And remember, that was kind of the match we really didn't understand Allie's tactics.
Yeah.
But so we'll see if things are a little different there. I think Allie's pretty big favorite. I mean, she would hit Moda Pettis. Huh?
Oh, Allie's a big favorite to make it out.
To make it to her. Yeah, I know Burkett's a 1, but I mean, Allie's kind of owned that series and beaten her in Final X before. Yeah. She would have Moda Pettis in the semis, who did pin her last time they wrestled. But I think Allie's able to.
The NLWC event?
No, the
Open Senior Nationals.
Senior Nationals. She headlocked and pinned her.
Yeah. So it feels like the XMP Reagan winner will take it. I mean, it just feels like it's going to be Allie, right? Kayla, I feel like Tamira at 68 is a pretty substantial favorite. We saw her wrestle Forrest overseas. Not particularly close. It was sort of close early.
Forrest didn't really come close to scoring, like getting a takedown or anything.
That's the thing. And Tamira just beat Adeline.
Right.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I can't wait to watch Kennedy Blades. Have you watched much of her, Ben?
I mean, I remember her. So obviously, with Illinois, Wisconsin,
Yeah.
we see them a lot. I remember her when she was younger. I don't think I've seen her too much in the last year or two. I think she went to Wyoming Sem, right? So she hasn't really been around. Is that correct or no?
Well, she did. I don't know if she was there this year just because a lot of people didn't go to prep schools or anything because of COVID and everything. Yeah. But yeah, I think she was there last year or 2 years ago now.
Yeah. Her and her sister are super good. I remember watching them when they were younger. So I don't know how she stacks up against the senior level field because I know she's super young, like I think 17 or 18 only.
In my opinion, she's going to be in the challenge tournament finals against Forrest.
Yeah. And it'll be an interesting matchup against Forrest because Forrest is like a lot more defensive, frankly, because Kennedy just shoots incessantly. She's extremely forward, but she could shoot herself out of the match, or she could have the offense to do it. I'm excited to see her in this bracket. If you're looking for a surprise finalist, Kennedy out of the three is someone to certainly keep your eye on. Obviously, Forrest is more proven, but Kennedy's excellent. Just
to kind of put things in perspective, she's a junior in high school, by the way.
Oh, my gosh.
Kennedy.
That's insane. So, potential junior in high school in the finals. You know what I was thinking about? Man, we were so high on Tashia Allo. Now she doesn't even wrestle anymore. I thought she was going to be like the next big thing in women's wrestling. It's a shame. I don't really know what happened there, but
she was like from Hawaii maybe or something.
Yeah, probably just living a sweet life in Hawaii.
Yeah, probably just being a Hawaiian. Can't blame her.
Surfing all the time.
Yeah, dude. Hanging 10. And then at 76, Kylie Welker is sort of interesting out of the 14. She's moving up in weight, right? I think she'd be interesting, but honestly, Adeline's the biggest favorite. So I guess my answer is the most likely of the sitting out is a combination of Helen or Kayla, and I'll say Kayla, but I am, spoiler alert, I'm picking all the sitter-outers, I think, to win. Adeline is the biggest favorite. Adeline's the biggest favorite of anyone in any trials.
Probably any style, yeah.
Any style.
Really?
Oh, my gosh. There's no one.
I guess
unless Tamira bumps up.
The field's not great at 76. In
Yeah.
fact, watch out for Kylie Welker at the 14 seed. She just gave. I mean, I know Kennedy ended up winning by tech, but she scored 6 points on her, and we think very highly of Kennedy. And I don't think this weight is as good as 68. So it's kind of smart that she bumped up.
Yeah, pro bump. So. Yeah, I just don't see any scenario where Adeline doesn't make the team. So yeah, that would be my thought. Do you have other questions, Ben? Lightning round.
Those are my 2 questions. We can keep going if you want to.
Okay. So we kind of took a look at those. Greco, we can briefly just kind of give you the details there. 60 kilograms, which is now the lowest weight. Ildar Havisov is sitting out.
Good job, Ildar.
Good job by Ildar. He'll probably see Ryan Mango or Leslie Fuenfinger again. Sancho sitting out. Ellis Coleman, Ray Bunker, Jamel Johnson are all in the challenge tournament. All entered into the challenge tournament. I don't know who really is. I mean, you figure Sancho's sitting out, but Ellis Coleman's a guy we've seen make runs in the past, but just seems like Sancho's is the guy in this one.
For all you folk South fans, Peyton Umania.
Yeah.
At the 8 seed.
He definitely knows how to headlock people. At 77, I think Ben Provisor is going to make the team. if he's making 77 effectively, who's scoring on that guy? I don't know. I mean, he'll have to go through.
Why is he the 4 seed then? If you think he's that much better?
Well, because it's not about, you don't see just based on who you think is going to win. You see based on
I understand.
results.
Well, I'm not sure a bunch of his results have been at 77. It's been at higher weight classes, yeah.
This will be his first time back down. This is the weight that would be Kamal's, if you recall, but Kamal is suspended. Yes. So you got Pat Smith is there. Pat Smith, Mason Manville early on. Mason's someone to keep an eye on at 77. He's a former world teamer.
Yeah.
But I'm going Provisor. Will Provisor Perkins final? Will they do another rigged match? I sure hope not.
I bet this one's not as exciting.
Well, it's best 2 out of 3, so I think you can go rig the first one. Total shenanigans, and then wrestle it for real. You can even bring in the cage for match 1.
Who wins the rigged match, though?
Who wins the rigged?
Who won the last one? Who won the first rigged
Ben
match?
won the rigged match. Well, It was actually a rigged period.
Rigged period.
Because I'm pretty sure in the second
there
period,
were 0 points
there
scored.
was like no points scored.
Yeah.
It was a very specific rigging. So 87, Joe Rao is sitting out, but
it's Alan Vera.
Alan Vera is coming. So Joe Rao is, of the people sitting out, the least likely to make the team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Alan Vera is a scary individual who likes to beat people soundly. So he's a huge favorite there. D'Angelo Hancock sitting out at 97. Go ahead. Get us.
Who's going to stop Braxton Amos from making the finals?
Who's beating Braxton Amos? He's got Eric Toohey first, and then Jacob Clark, Lucas Sheridan winner, which Jacob Clark is apparently over 40-some years old, according to a question. And apparently Ben
Jacob
knows
Clark,
him.
hold on. Show some respect, Christian. He has made, this is actually, he has made 6 Olympic trials in a row.
Yeah,
and he's been in the amazing finals of the 2004 and 2016 Olympic trials.
Yes,
that's insane.
04 and 16, that's classic. And here he is again.
Braxton did beat him last week, so even if he were to, I mean, he's like the wily vet, against the guys who's
42 now. I think
he's 42. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He was 21 years older than Braxton.
I think Ben should have a Greco comeback. You're from Wisconsin. Get back to your roots.
I'm gonna pass.
So yeah, Braxton Amos. Toohey, then Sheridan. I don't know
who's stopping him.
Well, I'm not gonna stop getting excited about it. Now I don't know if he can run the entire gauntlet, but
I'm not saying he beats D'Angelo, but I'm saying who stops him from getting to D'Angelo.
I'm not saying he doesn't win the Olympics, but I'm saying who on the planet can beat Braxton Amos, and I can't think of a single person.
Lucas Sheridan. What was he got? He's got a mean headlock. What else he got? Anything else?
Sure.
Yeah.
Moves.
He headlocked Jaden Cox.
Yeah.
Boo.
Okay, 130. This looks like Adam Kuhn's land, where he will dwell. Tanner Farmer. Talk about Tanner Farmer, Bradley.
Wait, why is Colton Schultz not in this tournament?
Oh my gosh.
I'm wondering that as well right now.
I'm just now realizing that.
Oh, that's hang on.
He's qualified, right?
Misprint?
Yeah, I wonder if I'm looking.
Surely he qualified. He's won everything.
But he's qualified. Just I'm trying to find our seeds article real quick. What the heck?
Well, hold on. You guys have number 8 Tommy Helton on the bracket twice.
Dang it, JD.
JD.
Yeah,
he missed copy. So number 2 has to be Colton Schultz.
Yes, that's Colton. That's to be Colton Schultz at the bottom.
Okay, we'll edit that out. We'll edit that picture out of the show.
Tanner Farmer. Yeah, he was a very good wrestler in high school out of Illinois, Fargo AA, all that stuff. But a very good football player, and he went and played football at Nebraska and was a 3-year starter on the offensive line for Nebraska. Where I looked at his roster, they had him listed at 6'4", 325. Yay. So he is trimmed down. Still 6'4", though.
Still 6'4".
Very large individual. He looked great at last chance qualifier. And just a really cool story. Oh, and he his last year eligibility, he actually went and wrestled NAIA after having not wrestled for 4 years. And made the national finals. And now he's training at the Illinois RTC. And he looked great at Last Chance, and he's massive, just a massive individual.
So it looks like a Kuhn Schultz showdown for the spot.
Yes.
I assume that's still going to be Kuhn's thing. He's had the edge there, but we'll find out this weekend, certainly. Okay. Now where to? We got a bunch of questions. Do we want to get to those?
Yeah.
Get to it.
Right.
Let's have a question extravaganza.
Yes.
We didn't get very many yesterday.
No, we didn't. So we'll have a bit of a bonanza extravaganza. Let me make sure there's no late to the party questions, but I'm not seeing much. Okay, so let's go. First question. Which wrestler at every weight who did not qualify for the trials would you want to place into the tournament?
Oh, man. This is a hard question because you have to have a big old list of who didn't qualify.
57, I feel like, well, I wish Spencer, but Henry Cejudo.
It's not fair, though, because he said didn't qualify, and Spencer is, in fact, qualified.
Oh, so I'll say Henry Cejudo. Yes. 65, Brent Metcalf, Logan Stieber, one of those types.
Ooh, Logan Stieber. No, Metcalf couldn't make weight. Come on, bro.
Sure he could. He made it for...
It's rude.
Yeah, 1, rude. 2...
Stop. It would take Metcalf months to make weight.
Okay, I'm not... Listen, yeah. I'm not saying he has to do it. I'm saying I'd like to see him in the bracket. Okay. 74 is easy. Ben Funky Askren.
I couldn't make weight either.
Yeah, you could. You could. The thing is,
I actually don't know. Like, I don't know that weight class was so hard for me to make. Like, I really don't know that I could make it again. Maybe it's possible.
If I said $1 million, although I don't know if that's enticing to Ben Askren anymore, but if I said $1 million, make 74 kilograms, I bet you would make it.
And I just got to. So I got to wrestle at it effectively, or do I just have to make it?
You have to win the Olympics. You have to beat. No. You just have to make it. Just make it. I'm just proving the point.
I can make it for $1 million.
Yeah, there we go. So Ben Askren not ruling out a 74 comeback. Yeah, I know. I know that would be a tough one for you.
No, I would like to see. I'd like to see Keegan in there. Obviously, that's the one that I would want to see. But he did not qualify the weight class.
No. But you know what? Goals for next year. He needs to get bigger. That's good. He needs to get.
He's 20 under still, so he's gonna wrestle in that.
Get him some cheese. Get him a little more cheese, a little more whole milk.
Was he cutting any, or did he just walk around at like 65?
I don't think so.
Okay. Who else at 74? I mean, Howe would always be an interesting guy. Who's a good man? Mackay, who is qualified, but he would have been
if he was healthy. That would be.
If he were healthy, I would have liked to have seen him.
Oh yeah, Andrew Escada,
Pico, yes. Oh my gosh, Pico.
You think Pico could still make 65?
I don't know.
What's he fight at? I don't even know what he fights at.
He fights
45
at 45.
55, I think.
He's fought at 45. I know.
He definitely has.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I got something I wanted to bring up, Christian.
Okay.
We need to stack rank the professions of people. People were mad that so many roofers were showing up at the Last Chance Open. And my man, a realtor, if you're in the Dallas, Texas area, Keegan Miller, he went in and he wrestled 97 kg, and he won a couple matches.
Yeah.
Realtors are better than roofers.
That's the professional stack ranking. A lot of people were taking that tweet so seriously. It was very they're really I don't know what's the best word. They're really taking themselves so seriously about our kind of jokes about roofers and like these people. They're showing up at a senior level tournament in the wrong colored singlet like frequently. They don't know what they're doing and they're just entering.
When we talk about roofers, we're not talking about Jacob Clark, who's been in Olympic trials finals and been legit his whole life and just came out of retirement. We're talking about Ramon Fry, who. Please go watch Ramon Fry wrestle a match. Just search it on our site.
I don't know who Ramon Fry is.
He looks like it looks like he has never wrestled a match before in his life. I watched a match this weekend. 2 straight matches in a row. Had Ramon Fry and Peter Christ God Vessel show up to the mat and
That's not a name.
Yes, it is. Peter.
No, it's not.
Peter.
It is not. You just made that up.
No. Peter with 3 R's. 3 R's. Peter Christ Godvest. I watched him and Ramon Fry show up back-to-back matches on the same GD mat in the wrong GD color singlet. Both of them did it. Okay? And then they both lasted about 30 seconds. And we have at least seen Ramon Fry at these tournaments before. Yeah. He's one of David Bray's favorite senior level wrestlers. Peter Christ Godvessel, Ben, I'm telling you, had never wrestled a match in his entire life.
That's not his name.
Yes, it is. 3 R's. Put some respect on it. He never wrestled a match in his entire life. He was wearing a brand new singlet, brand new shoes that had no scuffs. They were still stiff as a board. Brand new headgear. This man went to Dick's Sporting Goods on his way into the tournament, picked up all new stuff, and then tried to wrestle in his first match against guys who've been doing this their entire lives.
I'm at the point now where I want to like go pay homeless people to go wrestle in the tournament just to make Kyle Brecky mad.
Well, it doesn't make us mad. It's just we're not mad about it. They can all enter and it's fine. It's the most interesting thing to me is like the psychology of why you would want to do that. Why you would want to.
I mean, you could legitimately get hurt. There's good people out there.
Oh my, they're going to get hurt.
I'm just getting worked up about it because they're like, dude, are you really going to take away their dreams? What, their delusional fantasies that they live in?
Someone needs to listen. If the family won't, it should not be their dream. It should be something like, oh, I want to make weight and enter a tournament. If their dream is to make the Olympic trials, they're just like there needs to be people that crush dreams out there. There is something to that. No one's saying they shouldn't be allowed to enter a tournament. Go ahead and enter the tournament. It's just the psychology involved with entering a tournament is.
I don't know why you would do that.
Why you would do that? I mean, it's.
I mean, Ramon Fry drew Mark Hall first round, and Peter Christ Godvessel.
That's the dude he slammed. That's the dude he slammed.
Yes, that's the dude he slammed. And then Peter Christ Godvessel drew Nate Jackson first round, and Nate Jackson sent him to heaven. he sent him straight back to heaven. I'm gonna pull these clips up from Tyler.
God.
The ultimate Godvessel. Oh my gosh, it is funny.
I mean, you're right, Ben. These guys are. Mark tried to send the other dude to the devil. He tried to put him through the ground.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I'd be getting my highlights off too. Yeah. I guess we should actually thank them for all the highlights they give us.
I know.
Thanks for the impressions.
I really don't know. We should interview some of these people. What would drive them to go wrestle at the senior level events? Because it is quite puzzling to me.
Ben, so
I mean, Masters Worlds exist. Like, there's lots of
I even have.
There's tons of tournaments you can
coach at AWA who's young. He's only like 20 or 29, and he wrestled at the Division I level. And last year, or was 2019, he told me he was going to wrestle at the U.S. Open. I'm like, I don't know if you should do that. That's not such a good idea. And then I think he tore his labrum.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So good for him.
This
you shouldn't do it. If you are not ready to wrestle at the senior level, you should not wrestle at the senior level. It is a very high level of wrestling.
Yeah.
I gotta find these matches. I'm struggling right now. You guys go on. We'll come back.
On a scale, so Dennis Hampton says.
I'm so glad I brought that up, though. That gave me some great laughs for the morning.
It is. It's funny.
I mean, Keegan Mueller was actually good at wrestling. I mean, I think he was a top 15 guy at some point, right?
And that's Jack's brother, right?
Jack's brother, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't count.
I mean, these people have been. These people have not wrestled before. I'm telling you. Wait.
Oh man, my belly's rumbling. You're so fired up. Okay. So FRL is the best. NLWC over under 1.5 Olympians.
Oh, got to be over, right?
Over. Okay.
Got to be over. So that's just my first initial instinct. Okay, let me think. So, Gilman has an opportunity. Zane has an opportunity. Kyle's got an opportunity. David does. Oh, yeah, definitely over 3. Or over 1.5 for sure. If four real chances, I think.
Okay, so maybe this would be a better question for tomorrow. But
what are you doing?
Well, it's close. I mean, 1.5. I mean, his first question was 2.5, and I think he got a little. He's like, man, that's a little too high. So the next question right below is like, would it be 1.5? I mean,
so actually, I'm only going to pick one of them to make the team, but
so Ben, that's
hold on, but that doesn't mean
why.
I'm going to be right every time. That doesn't mean I'm going to be right every time, Christian. So I'm probably going to pick. I'm probably going to pick 3 of them to make the finals. So the chance that I'm wrong once is not all that bad.
Right. I think 1.5 is the number. I think you start with David Taylor, and then you figure some combination of Zane, Gilman, Snyder make the team. You get it to 2. I think probably the better question was 2.5. Because it would be a pretty down performance. Then again, I'm with you. I'm not going to pick Kyle. I'm not going to pick Gilman. I probably should pick Zane, but I don't know that I will.
I'm going to pick Yanni, but Zane's number 2 right there. So I'm saying it's like I could definitely be wrong on that one, for sure.
I feel like Yanni's more of a heart pick, than a head pick. Because I think if you're looking at it pragmatically, it's Yanni.
Well, I'm just thinking like, even if I were to pick Yanni, I'm saying it's 55-45 or 64, something close, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like and if I'm picking Jaden over Kyle, again, it's maybe a 60-40 type situation. So it's not like it's way off. And so the chances that, every guy I pick wins is not all that great.
Right. So I'll say the better number would have been 2.5. I'll take the under, but now I'm not counting out Gilman by any stretch. He may not be my pick, but listen, if you draw any number of these top 5 guys, I don't think you're particularly excited or disappointed. Like, I got a guy with a real shot. Okay.
What's crazy is actually how deep NLWC is, and then Hawkeye Wrestling Club only has 1 person in the entire tournament. Yeah. And then you turn around and you look at NLWC, and it's like at 86, they have like 5 guys in the field or something crazy.
Right.
4. Uh-oh. They have David, they have Bo, they have Starachi, and they have
good job,
stop. Don't smile at me.
No,
Kyle.
Good job. Good job, Ilda.
And they have Aaron Brooks.
All right, hey, we got the Destruction of Ramon Fry ready to go.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
I want to watch Nate Jackson's too.
Yeah. We got that one ready to go next. My favorite part about Ramon, this is a reversible singlet he's got on.
No.
Yes, it is, dude.
That's genius.
I know.
Joke's on you, Bracky.
I like it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
He's hand
Mark takes. I would say he's taking too much time already, Mark. Let's go. Oh, Mark barely got him up. Nice defense, Ramon Fry. Oh, God. Oh.
I think I'm going 2 and 2. I'm going 2 and 2.
Work on Monday.
Man. And then he traps him and it's over. So you can stop showing it. But yeah, poor Ramon.
All right, next match. Dude, that was a pretty hard slam. He might not go to work on Monday.
I wouldn't blame him at all. I mean, maybe he can get some workman's comp from this. All right, here's our man Peter Christ God Vessel.
Oh no.
Okay.
3 R's.
Oh no. Man, those are clearly brand new shoes. Look how shiny.
In his second match, he wore these all white ones that were just
He's wrestled. He's
so stiff.
This dude's wrestled. Uh-oh.
You sure?
Oh, with that movement.
Oh no.
Oh,
no. Oh no.
Nate was so nice to him.
Oh, Nate, that was so nice.
Nate's a nice guy.
I mean, this next thing wasn't very nice, but that was really nice. He could have killed him right there.
He just shot it.
Uh-oh.
Oh my.
Oh God.
Oh no. Jesus, take the wheel. Oh man. Yeah, he is.
Oh my gosh.
He looked fresh.
Funny. In his second match, he got pinned. He didn't know the match was over. He came back and tried to keep wrestling after they called the pin when he came back to the middle.
Yeah. Respect to the men in the arena.
Do we got any more of those? Those are fun to watch. Those are really fun to watch. You know what we should do sometime? We should line up. Okay, I got a full event for you guys. You ready for this? We're going to bring back barnstorming. You know what barnstorming is, Kyle?
No, what's that? Well,
barnstorming is the original. It's like the original wrestling. So these guys, these real wrestlers would go town to town to like the circuses or the fairs or whatever was going on. And you would pay like a nickel to wrestle them. And then if you pinned them, you got like $20, which like 100 years ago was a lot of money, right? Then the US dollar got devalued, which is why you should own Bitcoin, but that's another story. So you pay a nickel to wrestle them, and they would never lose, right? So they'd roll up like 30 dudes in a night, and people would watch the really good guy beat up on the jabronis in the crowd that thought they could beat up the real wrestler. Because there is a study that I think every male thinks they're like 947% more effective in combat than they actually are.
Oh yeah.
So we bring back barnstorming. We put someone fun like Nate Jackson would be fun because he would double leg all of them, right?
Yeah.
And we say we will pay anyone who wants $100 to show up, and we see how many dudes in a row Nate Jackson can take out. And then if they beat Nate Jackson, they get like $10,000 or something.
I kind of like this idea, but wait,
it would be so awesome.
But here's the thing: I don't want Gabe Dean to show up. How do we make it so
No, we screen them if they have more Division 1 experience.
Gabe Dean's gonna show up with a mustache. You're like, I'm Gabriel Jean.
All right, Ben, since you wanted one more, here's Peter Christ God Vessel's second match against Jonathan Lowe of Cornell.
He's got new shoes.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
Shoes.
That's what I told you.
Shoes.
He's good up top. I wouldn't have done this, John.
Oh, we almost threw him. Jonathan Lowe got lucky.
That's another 2-2. Oh my gosh.
Hey, listen, my idea is not so bad. Do you know how much fun we can have with that?
Look, he's like, all right, we're ready to go, right? No, okay, that was a pin, dude. That was a pin.
But listen, how much fun can we have?
He doesn't know what to do.
Does he have a ponytail? Or
it's braids. It's braids.
Okay.
He had it like cornrowed.
I think Nate Jackson would do it too.
Pat Popolizio a while back told a hilarious story on an interview Bader did with him about some just random cowboy that showed up to an Oklahoma State practice and challenged John Smith.
He just beat the life out of him.
And John beat the life out of him for like an hour.
In jeans.
Yeah.
Some cowboy in jeans. Good for him. Listen, some people need to understand what's going on with these. They got to learn the hard lesson.
I mean, now we could Google, we could look up their track wrestling profile or something, so we'd be able to see, hey, if you got college wrestling experience, you're not eligible for this challenge. Sorry. Nope, you're out.
I think it's a good idea, and I stand by it.
Can we set it up? It would be low budget, and it would just be like the most fun thing ever.
High
and we
entertainment.
could just sit there and laugh.
I'm trying to think of some other fun ones. I feel like Kamal Bay would be a fun one.
Oh my God.
No, you better have a big insurance policy.
Yeah.
He's going to break someone's neck.
Standard liability.
Nate Jackson's only going to concuss them.
Yeah. It'd be funny. Yeah, I like the idea of Kamal because he's like, he could wrestle a 180-pound, roofer guy. He's a little smaller, whereas Nate's, he's like 200-pound dude. There's not a lot of guys.
Okay, so who else would be fun? So who else do you have for someone like
Frank Molinaro?
74.
Frank Molinaro would be fun. He's kind of retired-ish, although he's wrestling at the Olympic trials.
It'd be cool to have a smaller guy because then people are like, I could take him.
Yeah.
And then like
Daniel DeShazer.
Gilman would be funny.
Gilman just
I want DeShazer. You want someone that's gonna like do some cool stuff,
DeShazer's just gonna slap him in the face.
He's gonna duck him. He's got stuff. He's got things. He'll headlock him. I'm getting DeShazer. Okay. Carpet struggler. Is Frank Molinaro more of an underdog this weekend than he was for the 16 trials? Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it. But then again, maybe we're having what's that syndrome when you can't your memories are incorrect because I think I was giving him a 0% chance back then also.
For sure we were. Yeah. It made no sense when it happened. More of a Kyle Brackey question: does Tom Brady's TB12 method plus Kyle Dake's functional patterns KD 444 method equal ultimate longevity in sports?
Very interesting.
I think we need to see Dig do it for a little bit longer, right?
Yeah, I guess he's not actually old doing this.
And he's had, I guess since he's been doing it, he hasn't had a lot of injuries. But
he tore his ACL or whatever.
that was because like heavyweights fell on him
right?
though.
No, he was. Yeah,
he was doing all the functional pattern stuff there. That one seems like a very freak thing. It was in the room, like heavyweights went into him, right?
Yeah.
So
no, that's what happened.
Wow. I don't know. Dake's got to be in this a lot longer. I mean, Tom Brady's going on 20 plus years now.
He's 43. Right now, I saw with like Drew Brees retiring, there's no one in the NFL from like the 2000, 2001, 2002 draft still. So he was like the 2000 draft. There's like no one from his entire draft class the next year or the next year, even in the league anymore. And he's like,
that's crazy.
He's winning the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, and signing another multi-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan is kind of doing this stuff now too, though.
Yeah,
the
WEC method is sort of like, I don't know.
It's not the exact same, but they do similar things.
Yeah.
Similar philosophy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it seems like it. It's certainly different from the norm, what you see in wrestling. It'll be interesting to see over the next 10, 15 years.
Kozak was a great point. Heavy's fall on Brady all the time, and he doesn't get hurt. Maybe it's the avocado. Maybe it's the avocado ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
No strawberries.
He doesn't like strawberries?
No strawberries.
Dang it.
No strawberries. Avocado ice cream. Water prevents you from getting sunburnt.
Listen, I agree with that. I drink a bunch of water. I don't get sunburnt.
I could drink all the water in the world, and I will be as red as the sign behind us.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I really want to see this homeless people versus Nate Jackson challenge. I'm like really... I think about how much fun this would be.
Not homeless. That's
well, listen. If the homeless person doesn't have college wrestling experience, they're in.
No homeless.
Okay. A few people have brought this up. This is very similar to what Dylan Palacio does.
Yeah, it does, and it's awesome, and I love it. But now we're just gonna do it.
We could find
30
actual
to 50
people
times in a row.
Yeah. It's a little different because Dylan's thing is like staged, and then. Also, we got the line them up factor is all time.
Yeah. And I think maybe like if Nate makes it to 45 minutes, then he gets like the grand prize or something. Or maybe he gets through a certain amount of competitors. He gets the big bonus at the end or something. Yes. Do you guys know how much fun we would have with that? We would laugh so hard.
We would be dying. I kind of think we should do it. We should legitimately, we should get a barn. And line them up. We need to go to some big metro area. Apparently, the Fort Worth area is they just flock to it.
Well, I feel like more like the Midwest, somewhere where like a bunch of hillbillies got some wrestling experience. They think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, we need to go to like Iowa or something.
See, I disagree. Yeah. I feel like the Iowans would have too much of an understanding of the sport and know like I'm entering a world I don't belong in. Whereas you get these North Texas people. They're like, well, shoot. They don't even know what wrestling is. Ain't no one gonna lick me.
We need to go to like Wake or
Waco would be good.
No, Lubbock. No, we need to go to like Lubbock, West Texas. Like, there ain't yuppies in the DFW area.
Yeah.
No, we need to go to like Lubbock.
Let's do it. Lubbock or leave it. All right. Ben, I kind of love this idea.
Oh my god, it'd be so much fun.
Okay, the Green Wave, getting a little carried away here. A two-part question here, two tweets, which I generally don't read, but I think it's something to talk about. If college wrestling does go to the step-out rule, and should the rule trickle down to the ladder to high school and even middle school, it seems problematic in any sport to have an entirely different way to score that isn't recognized by the sport in high school but is in college. Well, I would say we kind of have that a little bit from college where there's riding time. There is a completely different out of bounds rule in college. So I actually sort of disagree. What do you think?
Yeah, I would. But why can't we do it in high school? Because the high school, honestly,
it makes more sense.
The college out of bounds rules compared to the high school out of bounds rules are when I go to a U tournament, they say we're doing college out of bounds. I am like, thank you. Like, it's so much easier than high school is like 2 points, and you never know when they're going to call them out of bounds. It's really strange. So I wouldn't really hate that.
Yes. Next question from Josh Cannon. I was thinking about your comment on today's FRL about Kyle Snyder, among others, not getting a Hodge. Do you think he would have received one his senior year if he had won NCAAs his first year instead of losing to Gadsden? Hard to imagine a four-timer not getting it. Well, no. He lost, 1. He had a limited schedule, 2. He didn't really pin people, 3. And those are like...
Yep.
I think... Then again, this new Hodge era, maybe they say, well, Kyle Snyder's got to win a Hodge, right, guys? Right?
I remember Tom Ryan was politicking for it, similar to the way Dabo was for Trevor Lawrence. He was 17-1, only 66% bonus rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never did any turns, so he never got a high enough bonus rate, and his pins were really limited.
Wow,
how many falls?
I mean, there were probably guys that year that had double digit.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
He only had 18.
He only had 4 pins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he also didn't commit to wrestling the full schedule, I think, which is, man, if you want to win the Hodge Trophy, show up for all the matches. Sometimes you got to go to extra tournaments to pin the bums, and that way your stats look better.
That is a thing
His freshman year, he wrestled 34 matches, and then sophomore, 11. That was when he came out after New Year's. Mm-hmm. Then 17, and then 18.
Wow. So he almost wrestled more matches his true freshman year than all his other years combined.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, someone wants love for Jake Clark. There you have it.
We talked about him earlier.
Yep.
It was impressive.
Yeah. So he says
we already got a volunteer in the chat, guys. I hope you're looking at the chat. Jeremiah Jack Butterus says 3 times finalist, 2 times state champ, never wrestled in college. I know I have no chance, but I would like to feel it. Bring him to Iowa.
2 times state champ.
I feel like he's too good.
2 times no, that's not what we're looking for.
No, we didn't wrestle in college. That's the rule. Bring him to Iowa. Let's go.
Well, Henry Cejudo didn't wrestle in college.
Damn it all, Henry. We'll have to make an exclusionary clause for Olympic champions.
Okay. Hey, but this guy says, I know Ben has a story or two from when he visited Jake in Hawaii.
Yeah, I visited Jake in Hawaii. Yeah. I don't think I have any funny stories.
Okay.
He was just cool. I got along with him. Hung out with them for a couple days. So I was training with BJ Penn on the Big Island, which is not that populated. And Jake wanted me to do a wrestling camp for him on Honolulu, whatever. I can't remember what island that's on. And I flew over there, did a wrestling camp for a day or two. And I can't think of anything extraordinarily funny that happened.
Okay.
Hey. You guys surf? You a big surfer?
Yeah, dude.
I do not. I don't go in the ocean because that's the shark's house.
Do you bang some chains?
I think I played disc golf. Yes, I believe so.
You being so irrationally scared of sharks is hilarious.
I'm kind
of not
with
irrational,
him,
Christian, to eat people.
Yeah, they really listen.
They eat people.
Statistically, you're more likely.
No, I'm with Ben
everything.
on this. I freak out if something touches my leg. I'm the F out of there.
Yep.
Man,
I'll go out there for like 5 minutes, touch some seaweed.
They really, I mean,
I'm in.
They don't really eat people. They'll like bite people sometimes. So rarely. If you had to look at how many people are in the ocean versus, look at these.
Don't use logic with me. I'm not messing with the sharks.
Okay, that's the sharks. That's the shark's house. That's a funny video.
Florida's 16 cases represent 48% of the U.S. total and 28% of unprovoked bites worldwide.
I love. What's the provoked bite statistics? Where you're just talking trash?
Provoke attacks occur when a human initiates interaction with the shark in some way. These include instances when divers are bitten after harassing or trying to touch shark, bites on spearfishers, bites on people attempting to feed shark, bites occurring while unhooking or removing a shark from a fishing net, and so forth.
Interesting.
Come on, dude. Okay, Kevin Mulder is coming to Texas for the Olympic trials from Michigan. Never been to Texas. He's bringing his whole family. Any advice what to do? They're in Texas for a week. Well, there's a zoo. You can go to the zoo.
What are you telling him to go to the damn zoo? What are you talking about right now?
I'm thinking family stuff.
Well, what age are his kids?
He's obviously...
That's relevant. We don't know.
Yeah, he's bringing the family. I'm sorry. Maybe that's a terrible idea. Don't go to the zoo.
Don't go to the zoo. You can go to the zoo anywhere.
Do outside things because we have nice weather here in Texas. And what I know about Michigan is it's...
Come to Austin.
Come to Austin, Texas.
Go to South Congress.
Bang chains.
6th Street.
bang chains, and walk around, do the river.
Wait, they're
walk.
not going. They're going to Austin, or they're going to Dallas.
He said Texas, so I'm assuming the whole state.
Well, I'm assuming that they are going to have a rental car, so just come on down the road.
They're going to Dallas. Austin is very far away. I mean, I would go to Austin.
3
over Dallas,
hours.
3 hours, dude. Come on.
Yeah, but they already flew in the plane. You guys, Kyle, you have one kid. This guy had said kids. Christian, he's an anomaly because he goes 20 hours with his kids in the car. Well, listen, I don't want to drive an extra 3 hours with my kids in the car. It sounds like torture. I'm just going to go to the pool.
All right, go to the pool. It's like 70, but yeah, go to the pool. It's fine.
Dude, my kids were all over the pool, and it was like 64 degrees in Las Vegas.
Kids are immune to the water temperature. They just don't care.
They don't give a damn.
Natalie's lips are blue. She's completely shaking, and she won't get out. It's the darndest thing. I don't even want to get my feet in there, and she's a savage.
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah,
in the
Andy
chat
was shivering
said,
the whole time she was in this pool.
Go to Torchy's, get plenty of tacos, get all the tacos.
Listen,
Well,
Torchy's is not my thing.
He's from the UP. He would definitely be in the pool.
Katie loves Torchy's. Not a fan. Not the best. Okay. Limited sample size. Richard Champion. Limited sample size. Is there any evidence are Gilman and Snyder improving since going to Penn State? To me, they both seem to have regressed. I don't think there's evidence of that. I think
regression or what?
Yeah, I don't think there's evidence of regression.
I think it's going to be. I think it's a TBD situation. Gilman. Someone brought up last time. Gilman was almost not even qualified for the trials the year he won the world silver medal. I think one of you guys posted that maybe. So it wasn't like he didn't have these uneven results where he would maybe lose a few matches he shouldn't lose. I think this weekend's a big determiner for them. I think, but I think they both love State College from what I'm hearing. And sometimes learning new skills or a new skill set or a new style is very challenging and takes time.
Yeah, and they're not going to change their style. They're going to at that point they kind of are who they are.
But Christian, if they weren't going to change their style, why would they go to State College?
You don't have to change. You don't have to change your style for that move to be beneficial for you. Maybe there's something about how they'll train or the subtle adjustments that they're going to make within their game or the little tweaks that need made. But
at this level, the little tweaks are a change. I guess one of the things that I wouldn't say the main driving factor. One of the reasons I went to MMA was it felt like at the level I was at, it was so repetitive because I was so good and the changes were so tiny and small. But those changes lots of times are the things that matter in wrestling. And so even at the level these guys are at, small changes are big changes. So I think any change, no matter how small, is in fact a change.
Okay, well, if it's not discernible to us, then,
I think it would be discernible. If I watched every match of them, I think, if I watched every match and they actually made a change, I think I would be able to discern that change.
Okay. So far,
and I got to assume it's happening in some way, shape, or form because that's why they left. They went somewhere new because they wanted something new. And I understand maybe training style is one of those things, but they also thought maybe I can pick up something from David or from Kale or from Nolf, whoever, right?
Right. So far, I haven't seen anything discernibly different in how they've wrestled since both have moved.
Well, how long has it been? It's been what? They both moved last fall, correct?
Yeah, it hasn't been a ton of matches.
Snyder moved before that.
When was it?
He moved last
spring. Was it pre-Corona?
It was like 2 falls ago. It
was 2 falls.
It was kind of right after Worlds that year.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half. And then, but Gilman's only half a year, right?
He left about a year ago now.
Yeah.
Okay.
October 11th, 2019.
Yep.
For Snyder?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when for Gilman? I feel like Gilman was post-Corona.
It was.
Okay. So
April 10th.
Yep, coming up on that 1 year.
But so, someone I would say, and I think a great example of subtle changes in a really high-level guy is and I think it's one of the reasons it's led to his long-term success is Jordan Burroughs. If you look at who he was in 2011, and then if you watch him progress, there's this one of areas he's made changes in, and it doesn't change who he is all at once, but it's like a little ad. And now, honestly, though, 2021 Jordan Burroughs is quite a bit different than 2011 Jordan Burroughs. Mm-hmm. And I think those small changes are what has allowed him to have success for so long.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Next question. Let's look. Over on how many of the Olympic trials matches will be so controversial they won't be official till after arbitration. Man, I hope there's none of that.
Hopefully none.
Yeah, hopefully none. But I guess we had it in 19. I'm hoping no. Hopefully there weren't any in the 16 trials, so I don't think we'll see anything like that.
I don't even remember any being like really
the most
controversial.
The most controversial match was there was a couple. One, the Ramos-Nashon match, which had some late cautions for Tony. Yeah. And the other one was Richard Perry versus Dake, when Dake had a call. Dake got big points after stepping out, which is like just not what the rule says. And they looked at it. The brick came and they didn't change the call. Yeah. So those were the two that I remember, but nothing else really stuck out. Okay, so hopefully none. And let's see, maybe one more. Does the Max Askren NCAA Finals victory exist anywhere on the internet? It used to. I've searched and can't find it anywhere.
I used to. I found it on YouTube.
Max Askren, Kirk
I've
Smith.
watched it before, for sure.
I have too. 184. Let's see. If I find it right away, I'm going to be... It definitely used to be up there. No, I don't see it.
Did they pull it down or something?
Maybe. I don't know. Ask your brother. Maybe he'll know where it is. He's got to have it somewhere, right? He doesn't seem like a guy that watches.
Max Askren, Daniel Cormier. Daniel roughed Max up a little bit. He was quite a bit bigger.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Max wrestled at 197 for quite a few years.
Yes. Well, that was 211. Max was 211.
Oh my gosh, Max.
Yeah. Well, there was no 202 at that point, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we did it. I think we've done it.
We did it.
Let's beat it. Tomorrow, we're gonna make our dang predictions. Ben won't sit on the fence. He's gonna pick our Olympic team. So am I. So is Bracky, and maybe Oliver if he's back. The Bear. Thank you guys so much for listening. Happy Wednesday. Happy Taco Day to us. Not Ben Askren, because he lives in Wisconsin, and that's just what happens when you don't live here. Thanks so much to Scrap Life. Thanks to you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. Great week in wrestling.
Peace.